Hello Gemini, this is your tarot reading for August. It's quite a month for most signs and I hope it is for you. I hope you get something really useful from it, I sincerely do. Gemini, overall it looks to be a good spread, but I'm immediately drawn to the top right hand side, and that is the Eight of Cups. You're becoming disillusioned and walking away from something. Now, I don't want to jump to conclusions from this, but I think I understand it. Going to the middle card, Ten of Pentacles, multiple blessings. Probably material blessings, but blessings of every kind, happy families, good times, and that is something that runs throughout this. So I need to recognise that as I interpret all the other cards. Bottom right hand corner, Page of Pentacles. Going out and looking probably for money, looking probably for material things. The current energy is that of the Empress. Lovely card to have. An energy of being in touch with nature. Being in touch with your femininity, even though you may be male. Being in touch with your subconscious. Wanting the best in life, but not selfishly, not just for you, for everybody. The future energy is that of the Two of Cups. It suggests a new love. Doesn't have to be new, but it's certainly a divine love. The only card that is somewhat negative. Well, I suppose walking away is negative, but the and that's the outcome. But the Eight of Swords leads to the outcome, and the Eight of Swords is you putting up barriers. Now, I'm not certain what you're putting up barriers to. Could it be to love? That's interesting, because of the card that changes the outcome is the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Love, but something of a fool for love. So now we get to the outcome, which, as I say, is you being disillusioned and walking away. Are you walking away from love? I don't know. I hope you'll stick with me and find out if that's what it's really all about. The overall energy is that of the Ten of Pentacles, which is a great card. It's a card of multiple blessings, probably material blessings. You look at the card, well, there's 10 pentacles around it, which does suggest material blessings. But you'll also see there's the grandfather there, the husband, the wife. Is it one child? Yes, one child, 2 dogs. And they're all dressed beautifully. They've look to be living in a beautiful, beautiful village. So it feels as though you have everything. It feels as though everything is in place. And given that this runs throughout, it's a lovely, lovely card to have in this position. It really is. And I must understand the other cards in relation to this, in relation to this bounty, if you like. Where does this bounty come from? Well, it would appear from the past. In the past, it looks as though you went looking for material benefits. You went out, because we have the Page of Pentacles. Going out, if you like, on a journey of discovery. As with all journeys, it won't necessarily go perfectly, but it does look like it results in bounty. So there may have been some struggle in the past, but as a result of your struggle, as a result of your determination, it looks as though you achieved what you were looking for. And as is so often the case, and probably natural, when we find this sort of material bounty, We wish to enjoy it. So your current energy is that of the Empress. Somebody that enjoys the good things in life, but she's not selfish. She wishes to share those with everybody. Somebody that's in tune with nature. Somebody that's in tune with a feminine side. As I say, you don't have to be female. Somebody that's in tune with her subconscious. It's a very nice card, very lovely card, very loving card. Yeah, I think it's just you enjoying what you've created, and why shouldn't you? As I say, you're enjoying the good things in life and you want to share it. And maybe a new love comes into your life in the future. Maybe it's not new, but it's a divine love. It's a wonderful love. You look at it, there's an angel above their heads. They're exchanging cups. They're also dressed very beautifully. Nothing to hide from each other. I think it probably is a love that comes into your life, and it looks to be a good love. But I have some doubts about it because of the other cards. But, you seem to have got an open heart and want to share with this, if it is a new partner, share it with them. Now, despite you wanting to share things, we have this Eight of Swords. You putting up some boundaries. Putting up boundaries. Are you putting up boundaries to love? Seems strange because it contradicts almost the Empress card. But nevertheless there are boundaries, and those boundaries do lead to the outcome, and the outcome is you walking away from something, which I think is love. You look at the card, well, yeah, she's bound up, she's blindfolded. Now, is the tide coming in or going out? It's going out, isn't it? So she isn't in immediate danger, but when the tide comes in, she'd be in danger because of she's bound up and blindfolded. And if she took that blindfold off, she'd see that lovely village up there. Yes, it'd be another struggle, and we've said you've possibly struggled in the past. But it would be worth going, you'd save yourself from the tide coming in, if nothing else. Now we've got another indication that there is love that you're putting up restrictions to and maybe walking away from, because of the energy that would change the outcome is the Knight of Cups. Now, he is the Knight of Love. He's something of a fool for love, throws himself into love, wears his heart on his sleeve, does somewhat get taken for a ride maybe. Very loving person. He's also somebody that maybe has multiple lovers. I don't think there's anything really malicious in him. He just can't help himself, this knight. He loves everybody and he attracts love. Is it that you've attracted more than one love here? And is it that you're walking away from? I couldn't be sure. And yeah, I've already told you very clearly what the outcome is. It's the Eight of Cups, walking away from something. Now, we've said you've got multiple blessings, we've said you've got love, but could it be more than one love? You're walking away from something, you're walking away from some sort of bounty. You look at the card, down by that lovely lake, or is it the sea, shoreline? Walking away from those cups as well. Walking up that mountain. So again, it's going to be another struggle. But it seems to be something that you're compelled to do. Walking into the moonlight and So walking into the unknown, but you're clearly not fearful of it. It's something you feel that you must do. I think we need some clarity, don't we? And I'm going to seek clarity on this Eight of Cups. What is it you're walking away from? Well, the first card we have is the Page of Wands. Seeking out new adventures. So does it mean that you want a new adventure? That you enjoy these adventures? Now that would make some sense, wouldn't it? Because if you remember in the past we had the Page of Pentacles, whereby you were going on a journey looking for new things, and then you sort of started to enjoy it. But maybe, I remember when I had businesses and nothing was so much fun. They did pretty well for most of the time, but nothing was so much fun as creating them. And maybe you're feeling like that. We then have the World card, end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. Maybe you've learnt the lessons from this cycle. You went out in search of something, you found it, you enjoyed it, and now you started a new cycle and you want to do that. And then the final card is the Four of Swords. It is the Four of Swords, isn't it? Yeah, Four of Swords. Wanting to take a rest. So you're fed up of the bounty. You're walking away from the bounty. Yeah, the first card of clarity, remember we're talking about you being disillusioned and walking away. First card of clarity is the Page of Wands. Seeking something different. Recognising that there's more to life than what you currently have. Even though you've seemingly got everything. There's a restlessness about you. There's a spirit of adventure. There's wanting to do something new. And because of a latter card, the next card we have, it does somehow feel like it's the right thing to be doing. So it's a sort of an anti-complacency sort of instinct you have. You could call it middle-aged, what do they call it? Middle-aged, I've forgotten what they call it. Middle-aged itch? Or is it, it's 5-year itch, isn't it? Anyway. Yeah, but there's a restlessness. You're not contented with what you've got. Have you seen through the materialism? Have you seen through love? I think it's everything. I think it's everything that you're turning your back on. The word I was looking for was middle-age crisis, isn't it? And I'm not necessarily saying that you're going through a middle-age crisis, but it's a similar sort of thing. You've got this impetus for change. Why have you got this impetus for change? Well, we have the World card here. And that is, your world is changing. And you're changing with it. You're responding to it. Now, I didn't think that this reading was anything to do with global events. But it could be, because we all know the world is changing quite dramatically. And we do need to change with it. That doesn't mean to say that we need to accept the narratives that are coming, absolutely bombarding us. But we do need to accept some form of change. And I think you have learned from the last cycle. You've learned from the cycle which was creating wealth, enjoying wealth. But now you're wanting something afresh. You're wanting something new. And I can't necessarily see that negatively. It's something I've done many times throughout my life. It's something that I'm feeling quite acutely now. I couldn't be more in love with my wife. But having been severely restricted through the health crisis, unable to leave the island of Java, my parents have both died now, and I have no more links with my country of origin, the UK. And I'm sort of saying to myself, well, is that all there is? I'm here in Java, which I like. I'm with my wife, whom I love. But do I want to just wait here and die now? Which is all I can do, really. But you know what I mean? It's not necessarily negative, wanting something different. And perhaps you don't even know what it is you want. You just have this feeling of moving on. And a part of it is you're tired. You want to rest. I think you're tired of what you've created. You're tired of... I think you're tired of materialism, you know. Was this divine love? Was it a trophy wife? Well, maybe, but I think there was something divine about it. But when we've got everything, maybe we start to think, well, I've achieved everything I want. Is that all there is to life? I've actually got sciatica at the moment, and it was market day in the village today, and I always walk down, and I couldn't really walk down. So my wife went to the village, and she got me some medication. So I mean, I should be fine. But when she was there, there's a rich sort of butcher in the market, and particularly when I'm not with her, he always calls her over and tries to impress her. I think he really wants her. I think he thinks that he can buy her, you know. And he started coming out with, why don't you have a car? Why don't you get your husband to buy you a car? He was somebody that years ago suggested to me that I needed to invest in a petrol depot. Well, you know, I know nothing about petrol, you know, but he's caught up in all these material things, caught up in, you must do this, you must have that. And, you know, I used to say it was the Romans that said this, but I find that Ibn Arabi also said it, and it's that money is well, wealth. It's like drinking salt water to sate your thirst. You can never be happy, you know. There's always more and more, and I think you've seen through that. And I don't think this is entirely about love. I think it's about materialism that you're turning your back on. Love is bound up in it, you know. But yeah, you're turning your back on everything and walking away because you know you've learnt the lessons from that cycle and you want another cycle. But you know, you are genuinely tired with it all. Gemini, what an interesting reading. It's all about cycles, life cycles, learning from cycles, and a cycle is coming to an end and you're aware of it. This cycle, you know, I mean, it could well be a cycle that's going on in the world right now. The world is changing, and maybe you're aware of it and you want to change with it, but you're taking it very personally. In the past, you went out in search of material wealth, and I think you found it. I think you found, you know, you became wealthy, and you started to enjoy the benefits of that wealth, but you've got fed up with it. One of those benefits, I think, was love. I'm not necessarily saying it was a trophy wife or husband that you got. And I think it was a good love, but you've just got a feeling that there's more to it. There's more to life than what you've got. And if you threw yourself into love unconditionally, I don't think you'd feel like this. I think you'd find succor in love, really. But no, you're wanting something new. You're tired of what you've got and you want to start afresh. You want to walk away and you're putting up barriers. I think that you are putting up barriers to love. But I think it's got more to do with you turning your back on materialism. So it's a shame for whoever it is that loves you. But this is very natural. You know, it's this sort of middle-age crisis, if you like, and you might not be middle-aged and you might not be male, you know. But you're seeking something different, and I think you're responding to general feelings that are out there in the world, wanting change and wanting to embrace change. I don't think you necessarily know the direction of the change. You just want change, and to be honest, the universe has been sending me messages that that's probably quite a good approach to what's happening now, to simply throw yourself into change. But I do feel sorry for your loved one.